Well, the sun's back. We had an extra day of sun with the hottest June day since 1995. Hottest June day on record since 1995, or 24 years, or basically a quarter of a century. It was 22 degrees, and it was even 22 degrees at night time. So it was warm at night in very late June, getting towards the end of the month. Crossing over into July, which is the time usually when the base rosettes of the Peltara foliosa hookerii complex are becoming quite prominent. Yeah, so that's quite unusual. A quarter of a century event. Yes. Anyway, in some cases it's not pretty. What was strange though, it didn't happen until we had the rain. So they were quite happy until we had the rain. This got a bit crinkly and it's lost colour, but I went back and looked at the other clips, and it was starting to go that way when I took it out. If you look very closely, it wasn't absolutely true white. If you look really closely at the videos, it was actually starting to deteriorate at the time, because I was a bit worried that I'd actually, this process had actually caused it, sort of thing. But yeah, anyway, so I don't know if you can see that they almost look like they're fattening up. They almost look like they're fattening up. You might want to go back to the old videos and see if it... Anyway, because of that one, I said I was going to put another one in, so I put another one in, and we'll check that one. Okay, so basically we've got a bit of a perched water table here, as you can probably see. Now, there are three key points that they don't usually tell you about a perched water table. One, it stays it's wetter. It stays wetter for longer. And I've forgotten the third. I've forgotten the third point. So basically, a perched water table means that this medium will be wetter, and it will stay wetter for longer. Oh yes, so the third point, because of that, it's basically a microaerophilic to anaerobic environment. So it's totally counterintuitive of what you think it would be. You think a perched water table, we're going to do that we're going to actually set up a perched water table like a golf course, so we can have more aeration in the soil. No, it's totally counterintuitive to what you think it would be. It stays wetter, and it stays wetter for longer. And of course, if you have like what with sand as your basic perching materials or zone, the larger the grain size, the easier it is to saturate, of course. So it's like a double whammy in a way. So as I said, the larger the grain size, the easier it is to fill up you only need, if you double the grain size, basically, you only need half as much water to fill it up, basically. And therefore it becomes saturated more easily. And of course, it needs less water to actually keep those voids filled up with water. So yeah, again, it's totally counterintuitive to what you think. You think larger grain size, yeah. You think the finer the grain size, the easier it is to saturate. No, it's counterintuitive. So anyway, they're not dead, and they do seem to be, I don't know, fattening up. And I swear that looks like it's starting to slowly grow this way, or this way, starting to make a move, I would say. But we look at these ones here, there and there. But have you noticed though, the crinkly top is gone, the yellow is gone, and it's gone red in a matter of days, basically. And all these are sort of going red. So whether it's pulling the green down to the rhizome, and that's why they're going red, it's pulling the green out of the, pulling the green goodness, and they're going red. So yeah, none of this going yellow than white, basically. And they're going red, sort of thing. But in those zones where it did seem to be going white, you can see there, they do look like they're dead, but I don't know. It's very strange, fellas, very strange. But anyway, definitely ones to watch. So I might do another one here. Oh, the other thing you want to think about is now, if this is true, whether you want to try and do this with 3/4 polystyrene, and instead of putting newspaper cellulose, peat or coir on the top, this is coir, but remember, I'm reminding you this is coir, not peat, it's coir. And you might want to put 1.5 to 2 inches of perlite on the top, and see if it actually stays wetter and wetter for longer. And yeah, and it will actually be a saturated system, a microaerophilic to anaerobic system sort of thing, which is what we basically discovered with the double thrush. Is CPs are basically growing on a microaerophilic to anaerobic system, not the other way around as you would think. But this one here, look how nice it looks. This one I flushed out the first day I put it in. I flushed it, and I flushed it every, I watered it basically with a watering can, like I've shown you before. Maybe that's the trick. Whether it's something to do with dynamic equilibrium, that they can get used to a certain level of salinity. And it can be really, really strong or really dilute, but you've got to, they can get used to it. So the idea is to flush it out on a regular basis, so it gets it down, toughens them up, sort of thing, gets it down on a regular basis. I don't know, but we'll see. But I just thought I'd give you this update. And Stephen Marshall and Rob Lucas has just announced they're going to privatise our transport system. And the amount of pushback on social media, they've had like over 200 replies in about 40 minutes. And by the end of the day, it's going to be a major story on the news, I reckon. Probably they're going to be backpedaling. Otherwise, it's going to be